Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Taste Expressions, and today what we're going to be making is a cream cheese pumpkin. So as I go along, I'm going to tell you how you can actually change this cake up. Now I'm going to show you first my ingredients. Here I have all-purpose flour, cream cheese, full-fat cream cheese, unsalted butter, sugar, you can use granulated or caster sugar, 3 large eggs, orange zest, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Okay, now I'm going to use the paddle attachment for my mixer. We start with creaming our cream cheese and our butter. Now make sure that all your ingredients are room temperature. Okay, pop this in. And I'm using the paddle attachment. Make sure it's nice and firm. So you want to cream this to make sure that it's first nice and creamy before we start adding anything else, because sometimes cream cheese has a bit of chunks in it, the butter is not, it doesn't mix in well. Okay, you can turn the speed up to medium. So I'm going to cream this for roughly 2 minutes. Okay, while I'm creaming this, I'm going to sift my dry ingredients. So my flour goes in here. You can use a regular sifter if you don't have one like this. Salt, baking powder, and soda. And we pop it back into our bowl. And give it a little tap, make sure everything is in. I'm going to give it a little whisk, just to make sure everything is incorporated nicely. And now if you see my butter and sugar, my butter and cream cheese, now it's nice and smooth. I'm going to start adding my sugar. Turn the mixer down a little. Let's add half of the sugar. Give it a quick little stir. I'm using caster sugar because caster sugar creams faster. You can use granulated sugar, but try not to use the one that's very, very coarse. I'm going to add the next half of my sugar. Okay. I'm just going to stop, scrape down a bit. And we pop it back on. So I'm using medium speed now. So I'm giving this another 2 minutes, just to see that it's nice and creamy. If you don't mix your butter and sugar well, you end up with a cake that's very dense. So you don't want to have a dense cake. Now I know pound cakes are a bit on the dense side, but this cake, because of the cream cheese, it's very moist. It's even better the second day. Okay, now I'm going to add my orange zest. Now you can use orange zest, you can also use lemon zest if you choose. I choose to use orange zest today. Now when you're zesting, you zest only the outer part of the skin. All my zest goes in. Give that a little mix. And I'm going to add vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract. You can also add powdered extract, vanilla beans. So I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla. One. If you have a really strong extract, you can add 1 teaspoon, it's fine. Now we're going to start adding our eggs. Okay, so 3 large eggs, 1 at a time. We add 1, let it disappear, then we add the other one. Okay, let's try and just get 1 in there. Whoops, they're all fighting to go in at the same time. That's 1 egg. I'm gonna stop, give it a quick scrape down. Pop it back on. Now you can see my egg is no longer showing. I'm gonna add the other egg. So we have 1 more egg. Now we add the 3rd egg. I'm going to stop, scrape down my bowl. Give it a scrape on the side. And now at our lowest speed, we are going to start adding our flour. So with my mixture on stir. I'm going to add all my flour. Now you would notice there is no milk in this recipe. However, you will end up with a really nice moist cake. And we're only going to mix this just until it's mixed in nicely. Once you don't see any flour again, we're going to stop. I'm going to stop, take all the flour down. Now you can see there's no flour showing in here now. I'm going to stop, take it off, show you what my mixture looks like. But now I'm going to scrape it down and make sure everything's combined nicely. Stir. Now, you see, even though there's no milk in this batter, it falls off really nicely. I'm just making sure that everything is combined. Okay, nice and smooth. Now, you can pop this cake into an 8-inch cake pan. However, I'm going to use a bundt pan today. Did you know I love bundt pans? But first you need to make sure that you spray it, because this pan has lots of little crevices and little nicks in it. Okay? I'm using a floured spray. Oops. At a distance, we spray all around. Make sure you get that spray in there. You can also use an oil spray, but you will need to dust it with some flour to tap out the excess. So now I have my pan sprayed. If you think you've missed a little spot, spray, because you don't want the cake to stick. Okay, that's it done. And now I'm going to pop all of the mixture in. You want to try to put it as even as possible because this cake does rise a bit. Now, what I did today is I used half of the recipe because my recipe is quite large. It makes 2 of these cakes. So I have cut it down to half. So you can make it half the size. If you want the recipe to fit just 1 pan, you do half the recipe. I will post the entire recipe, however, after this. Now we're gonna tap it down. And this is so that it goes into all the little crevices. Give it a little shake. You can also take a spatula or a knife or anything like this and run it through your batter, and this way it eliminates any air bubbles that you might have that got trapped in there. And then we pop this in the oven at 180 degrees for roughly around 50 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to pop this one in the oven and I'm going to show you one that I already did. Timer on. It's always good to time your recipes. And here is the finished one that I have just made. Now, if you want to change this recipe, you can add a bit of fruitate. For instance, you can add blueberries to this recipe. If you're adding blueberries, you would want to add your blueberries at the last step, frozen or fresh. Just dust them with a little bit of flour, and in the last step you gently fold them into the mixture. Okay, if you go onto my page, you would see one of the cakes that I made, same recipe using blueberries. Now this cake doesn't need anything else. What I'm going to do is just dust it with a little bit of powdered sugar, and then you present it like this. So 1 second. Now, if you're going to dust it with powdered sugar, you want to dust it just before serving. Okay. Yeah. Or you can even make a glaze, a very thin glaze, just to run down on the cake. Okay. And here you have your cream cheese bundt cake. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I will see you again for the next session. Bye.